Hello and welcome to our next lesson, looking at plants. In the previous lessons we've looked at photosynthesis, we've looked at how we can investigate photosynthesis. Today we're going to start looking at mineral deficiencies. I'd like to start the lesson with a question. Why do trees need such big root systems? So we can see trees above the ground, but what we don't see is these large networks of roots underneath. Pause the video now. Have a think about that question. Press play when you're ready for me to go over the answers. Okay, so you should have had a think about why trees need such big root systems. Now, essentially, the roots are important because they absorb water and minerals from the soil. Leaves can't absorb water, they can only lose water. Therefore, it's important that trees have these roots to keep absorbing water and minerals. They're also very handy for keeping the tree upright in strong winds. We say that it keeps plants anchored. So today's lesson, mineral deficiencies in plants. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to state that plants can be damaged by iron deficiencies. You should be able to explain how specific mineral deficiencies damage a plant. And you could explain in detail how and why iron deficiencies affect plant growth. So, plants need water and minerals so that they can meet various needs that they have. Okay, this water and minerals, as we've discussed in the starter, is absorbed from the roots and is transported around the plant to where they need to be. So we can start by saying that plants need water and minerals. Plants need water and minerals for various processes full stop. And then we can say, I'm going to put in red because it's important, that water and minerals, water and dissolved minerals, we'll say, dissolved minerals are absorbed by the roots of the plant and transported through the xylem. Through the xylem to areas that need them. To areas that need them. So we've got that plants need water and minerals for various processes, and that water and dissolved minerals are absorbed by the roots of the plant and transported through the xylem to areas that need them. If plants do not get the minerals that they need, they can have what's known as a deficiency. Deficiency symptom. And that's a key word. So deficiency is D-E-F-I-C-I-E-N-C-Y. Now a deficiency symptom is defined as a symptom caused by a lack of a substance. A symptom caused by a lack of a substance. Now, while all organisms can have various deficiency symptoms, for example, if you don't have enough iron in your diet, you can feel fatigued. that is a deficiency symptom. We're talking mainly here about plants. So we can say, I'm going to try and keep all on one slide today so we haven't got to wipe the board. We'll see how it goes. We can say that plants have various deficiency symptoms, deficiency symptoms depending on the substance they're deficient in, or they're deficient of. They're deficient of. Okay? And we're going to talk about some different substances that plants can be deficient of. So the first one, and perhaps the most obvious one, is water. Okay, all plants need water. Now they're needed to fill up the vacuoles of each cell and to give strength to the plant. So water fills the vacuole, I've gone blank, I don't know how to spell vacuole. Vacuole of plant cells, providing structural support. Providing structural support. Now I'm just going to put a little side note here because it was quite a while where we did this, but we're talking here about turgidity. If you don't know what turgidity is, it might be worth you going and having a look at that, okay? Now plants without it will droop and they will have wilted leaves. So we can say lack of water causes drooping and wilted leaves. Our second one we're going to talk about is a lack of magnesium ions. Okay, magnesium ions. So another ion that plants need is magnesium. Now magnesium is needed to make chlorophyll. So needed to make chlorophyll. Okay. Now plants that are deficient in magnesium will have yellow leaves or brown drying leaves. So lack of magnesium causes yellow leaves or browning leaves or brown dying leaves. Okay, so magnesium is needed for chlorophyll and a lack of magnesium causes yellow leaves to turn brown or dying. Our next one is nitrate ions. nitrate. Now, nitrate is needed to build proteins, and it's needed for chlorophyll. So for nitrate, we can say needed to build proteins and chlorophyll. Okay? If a plant is deficient in nitrate, it will have yellow leaves with a pink tint. So deficiency causes yellow leaves with a pink tint. Okay? Our next one is potassium ions. So if a plant is lacking in potassium, potassium is needed for photosynthesis and uptake of water in the roots. So potassium is needed for photosynthesis and water uptake in the roots. If a plant is deficient in potassium, it will have yellow leaves and poor flowering. So deficiency causes yellow leaves and poor flowering. And finally, phosphorus ions. Phosphorus ions so phosphorus or phosphates we can say are needed for healthy roots and shoot growth. So needed for shoot/root growth. I'm going to struggle to fit this on, but I'm not doing the screen. And the deficiency is slow plant growth. So deficiency causes slow plant growth. So, plants need water and mineral ions for various processes. Water and dissolved minerals are absorbed by the roots of the plant and transported through the xylem to areas where they're needed. A deficiency symptom is a symptom caused by a lack of a substance. Plants have various deficiency symptoms depending on what they're deficient in. So water is needed to fill the vacuole of plant cells to give support to the plant. Lack of water causes drooping and wilted leaves. Magnesium is needed to make chlorophyll. A lack of magnesium causes yellow leaves or brown dying leaves. Nitrates are needed to build proteins and chlorophyll. Deficiency causes yellow leaves with a pink tint. Potassium is needed for photosynthesis and water uptake in roots. Deficiency causes yellow leaves and poor flowering. Phosphates are needed for shoot and root growth. Deficiency in phosphates causes slow plant growth. So, You should now be able to state that plants can be damaged by iron deficiencies. You should be able to explain how specific mineral deficiencies damage a plant, and you should be able to explain in detail how and why iron deficiencies affect plant growth. I hope this lesson has been of some use to you. If you have any questions, please drop a comment in Google Classrooms or send me an email directly and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Until the next video, take care.